Oh, yeah. We got a long-distance love senior citizen thing tonight. Catfish, Chaos J, let's go.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Wrap your arms around me. Ooh, baby, I don't care what them people say. I'm giving you whatever you want.
That big body roll.
Hey.
What's going on, everybody? Let that breathe real quick. Oh!
Hey. You know, if you guys follow us on Twitter, you know we're about the Meek Mill movement these days.
Right. I had to co-sign. My partner in crime says she still rocks with Meek Mill. You know what? I'll still rock with Meek Mill too. Although your boy was taking lots of L's.
Yo, everyone takes L now and again.
But he
especially on Catfish.
Right, exactly. And we got a lot of L's. We got a lot of love. We got a lot of losses. We got a lot today. It's your man Chaos J. Brain fart. Season 6.
Do you want me to finish for you?
Right? It's your man Chaos J. Season 6 remix. Back again like we never left. And to my left, I have my lovely co-host, partner in crime.
What's going on, everybody? It's Olivia Gabaree, the real OG. You can hit me up on Instagram and Twitter, the real_O_G.
Boom. You already know, Chaos_Oceans31. Oceans, why? Because your boy's so wavy on Instagram. So we've got Robert and Ashleigh. Robert is in Havre de Grace, Maryland.
That's what we'll call it.
That's what we'll call it. Havre, like Brett Favre or
It was
something?
something that rhymed.
Something like that. Havre de Grace. That's what we're going to go with. We've got Robert in Maryland. We've got Ashleigh in Tennessee. And they meet on meetme.com.
I never heard of that
you,
one.
There's so many dating sites we probably haven't heard of, and that's definitely one of them.
Yeah.
Never heard of meetme.com.
No, but might check it out. I don't know.
Hey, man, you know. So they meet on meetme.com. They talk for quite a while. I'm not quite sure how long.
I mean, it
was a good length of time
get to know each other. And
enough
fall in
time to be
love.
dropping L-bombs hard.
Right.
Enough time for Robert to come to the point where he says, look, I love you so much. I want you to come to Maryland, live with me, marry me. Let's do this, girl. Let's bring this love thing together.
The whole thing.
Whatever you want. Shout out to Tony. For those of you that know where that sample came from. So he asked her to come to Maryland to marry him. And then that's when she's like, okay, look, pause, time out. I got something to tell you.
You know, I kind of admire her for owning up to the fact that it was false. However, you know, given his situation, this obviously is a very unique and unfortunate catfish. Robert's very sick. He doesn't have long to live, and he's paralyzed, so...
From the waist down, because remember, he regained movement in his arms.
Right, which is amazing. He can actually move his arms, but... So he's unable to go visit her, so it kind of leaves it all up to her.
Right.
And
Ball's in her court.
It's in her court, but she's not who she says she is.
No, and he was upset about that, so we kind of fell off the map for a little bit.
Right. He actually was the one that fell off, and that's unique because typically it's the other way around where, you know, even if the person knows that the other is lying, they're still trying to pursue it to get to the bottom of it. But he just fell off, and he was all set with that because she was a liar.
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, and I get it. But obviously he couldn't stop thinking about her. She couldn't stop thinking about him. Mm-hmm. And they reunited, and it felt so good. Kind of, sort of, something like that. So they start talking again, right?
Yeah, he hits her up and
he's like, "Hey, boo."
Yeah, they get to talking. They have such a deep relationship, and obviously
She was there. She was a big support system for him as well.
They both have extremely hard situations and difficulties to deal with, so they confide in each other, and they depend on each other in that way. But there is still this huge barrier where they don't know each other physically, and he doesn't even really know her visually at all.
No, because all the pictures she had been sending him were fake, and once she told him, I'm guessing she just stopped sending pictures because
it
she
ain't
wasn't
real.
right, and she wasn't gonna send pictures of her true self because she felt inadequate and she wasn't happy with her looks, which we come to find out further into the episode that there's a lot behind why she feels like this.
Yeah.
But that seems to be the case with most catfishers.
Oh yeah,
Like,
100%. They're
There's
always insecure.
Exactly.
And there's always, I mean, hers is definitely on the extreme end of things, but that usually is the reason for a catfish to begin with, is because somebody is uncomfortable being who they are and they need to reciprocate in other ways. You feel me?
So my thing is, all right, I had to put the pen down.
Always about to drop.
It's about to go down. Not even. No, my whole thing is when you start something, let's say online relationship, there's at least in my mind, I think there's got to be some point, like there's going to be an end point to this. And not end point like it's over, but end point like, okay, when are we going to take this, from online to in real life? And for me, one, I feel like trying to have a fake online relationship would be so much fucking work. Like, that's so much work. Like, you have to stay up on sending fake photos, making fake posts if you've actually got a full-blown profile. Like, you've got a lot to keep up with. But then at the end of the day, me personally, like, if I'm putting in this much time, whether I'm the catfisher or the catfishee, I want some kind of a reward, something. Like, so at some point, when am I going to see you? And so for me, I wouldn't even want to start it off knowing that, like, okay, this is not going to end up well, because once I tell them that I'm not who I'm saying I am, they're probably going to bounce.
Yeah, but you have to think, your mindset is extremely different than
It's
their
extremely
mindset.
logical and intelligent.
Well, I mean, yeah, but your situation is also much different, whereas, okay, you're in this to have some type of relationship and you're not going to stick around unless it has a certain outcome, but you also see yourself having other options. These people don't really see that they have any other
This
option,
is true.
and they're so insecure in themselves that, yes, the outcome would be something. I mean, they're probably not even thinking of something that far ahead, because they could be so grateful to be having just an interaction with another person that they care for and care for them. And, maybe in their worlds, and the perfect outcome wouldn't be a physical relationship because they're so uncomfortable with themselves physically that just, like, is not in the cards for them.
I guess and you're right. I mean, my thinking is a lot different, because for me, I can't wrap my mind around not having physicality. At some point, there needs to be some physical things happening.
Right. So the catfish game probably
would never
be
work for me,
you.
ever. Granted, I don't, I'm not the best looking guy on the block, but I'm not the worst. So,
but it's not even that, though. I think
not,
it's
but
just, you could be
kind
dead.
of is, though.
Listen, have you ever seen somebody that you truly didn't think was attractive, but their mannerisms and the way they carried themselves and the personality, like, boosted them up a little bit?
Yeah, they got some extra points.
Exactly.
Okay,
so
this is very true.
It's not
very
even
true.
always about the looks. Like, you could be dead ass ugly. Like, it's a sin to say, but there are people that are pretty
Didn't
ugly.
you say at one point you dated a guy that was low-key kind of ugly, but he had so much swag and
so
confidence?
suave that, like, I just thought he was hot.
She
And
said suave, y'all. So that means this dude was smooth. Like, he just
was
talking
suave.
panties off left and right.
But you know what I'm saying? I think it really comes down to confidence and faking it till you make it. And
That's definitely the motto in that way.
these catfish candidates are lacking in confidence. So, like, pursuing other options or having the ideal type of relationship you think every human would want to have is just probably not something that's in their minds, because they don't even think they're capable of something like that.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
You see me?
I see you. We here. So, we find out when we get a little bit of Robert's backstory that in 2009 he gets really, really sick, which resulted in paralysis because his immune system literally attacked itself. Like, it was like, oh, I hate you, immune system, and it attacks itself. Not to make light of it, but it attacks itself, and that's probably how it did it, and attacks his spine in 2 different places and causes him to be paralyzed. Like, I have never heard of this. Just bananas, but it's very unfortunate. However, we find that even with him being sick and him, he shares this with Ashleigh while they're talking, she sticks around. Like, she's still about that life. Like, she's still about him. So, enter Nev and Max, because Robert feels like, with his body becoming more immune to the antibiotics, that he doesn't have long to live, because the antibiotics probably are helping to fight his body, keep his body from fighting itself and whatnot. So he's like, I really don't want to have any regrets. I really need to meet her and close this chapter, if nothing else. Enter Nev and Max. So we start doing the investigative research, and they do the reverse number lookup, and first thing that pops up is Gina. Late 50s.
Gina.
Now, before they even did this, I said, like, what if this chick is, like, super old?
Well, because first of all, we knew that she was living off of some type of government assistance.
Government subsidy or something, not subsidy, but government assistance.
Yeah.
And, so I was like, what if she's collecting that Social Security already?
Right, because it could be there are certain circumstances where someone
gets injured.
Yeah, and when you're 22 years old, you're obviously still technically an adult, so you probably have access to those type of funds, but I feel like it's usually the older
right. You don't really hear about too many able-bodied 20-somethings collecting a Social Security check or some kind of government assistance check.
Then, to Robert's thinking, he also thought that she could maybe have some type of disability for that reason.
Right. So, Gina, late 50s, Memphis, Tennessee.
She looks pretty normal, though, because when we looked her up on Facebook, she had, like, a family and some daughters. And I would hope that if you had daughters similar to the age of dude you were catfishing, that shit really isn't right. So
it's kind of low-key
I was hoping it wasn't Gina, but you never know with this situation.
Right, you don't. But then they go ahead and they start to dig a little deeper, and they actually do, and that was just off of the reverse number lookup. So then they do a reverse lookup on the name. And after they do the reverse lookup on the actual name, Ashleigh, because they always had to bleep it out, they find a police report, and, you want to take it from here? Because...
Oh, my God. I don't even really have enough words to express what I was thinking, because I was freaking the beep out. If you saw this chick's picture, it was... I'm sorry to say that I would never want to put anybody's looks down, but this chick is a murderer, so I'm going to go ahead and put her down.
Bam!
She was not it, and she was freaking scary looking.
She kind of low-key for any of our viewers that have watched
this reference,
Trolls. Legit, she looked like Lady Glither Sparkle, seriously. Because that's her name.
Sounds like a pretty name, but it
does.
Pretty.
It's a very pretty name, but if you've ever seen Trolls, and if you haven't, I'm telling you, Google Lady Glither Sparkle, seriously. You have to say the whole thing. Lady Glither Sparkle, seriously. That's what she looks like, minus the beautiful troll wig that she has on in the pictures when you Google it. She legit looked just like that.
In her mugshot, this
was
chick,
just terrible.
We found an article saying that this Ashleigh something or other, same name as the person that was being the catfisher. She was involved in a murder. She and 3 other dudes were charged with kidnapping.
4 people, actually.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So, kidnapping and murdering while on meth. And it was very apparent that was something in her lane by the looks of her picture, if you wanted to see it.
She was a killer. Oh, and we're going to get a graphic of Lady Glither Sparkle, seriously.
It's in the mouth.
It's the whole mouth region.
Something's going
and then
on
some of
there.
the eyes. Again, it was kind of spooky, minus the rainbow wig. She didn't have a rainbow wig. She didn't. This is Lady Glitter Sparkles done up. She was Lady Glitter Sparkles before she was done up. Either way, all right. Either way, they go ahead and they reach out to Ashleigh. They're freaking out because like, whoa, like this, everything seems to line up.
Well, yeah, because now I'm thinking like, okay, if she was involved in a murder, maybe she's on house arrest, maybe she can't leave the state, maybe she's in some type of like holding or jail, though I don't think that they would have access to communication tools that easily, but I mean, I'm unfamiliar. I don't know.
Lady Glitter Sparkles. Again, if you're just tuning in, we are showing an image of Lady Glitter Sparkle, seriously, who looked similar to who we thought initially might be the catfish, Ashleigh.
Ashleigh the murderer.
And for our listeners,
Google it.
Lady Glitter Sparkle, seriously, from the movie Trolls, and then yeah. And you'll see exactly what we're talking about. Minus that rainbow wig, scary.
I hate you for making this comparison.
Hey, man, I'm sorry. I couldn't help myself. So they reach out to Ashleigh, and they say, "Look, this is the deal," and she's freaking out. And I do like when we get some of these phone calls when they call the catfishers, and they give us, you get the sincere, honest reactions. And she was legit losing her shit.
Yeah, you could tell that she was
she's
genuine.
like, "Oh my God, I'm so nervous. No, my goodness, what's going on?"
I'm gonna barf.
Yeah, that's
I hate
she kept
word,
saying that.
but she kept saying it.
Yeah, pretty much. And I don't know, like, I mean, but I have a pretty strong stomach. There's not much that just makes me I can't just barf like that.
I know, but it was
First off,
clear
I don't
that
barf. I vomit like a normal human being.
It was clear she had a lot of like anxiety and security
very
issues,
nervous and stuff like that. So basically, she's like, "No, I can't face him. Like, there's things that that I lied about, and I can't look him in the face." And Nev is like, "Look, I'm gonna fly out to you. We're gonna talk about this. Maybe get you to come back because he does not have a long time to live. Like every day is a gift to him." So, take it from where Nev goes to see Ashleigh.
Wait, first of all, can we
Not
mention...
Lady Glitter Sparkles.
Can we mention the fact that Max was I hear birds in the background, so she must not be in jail. Like you would observe something like that.
Yeah, that's Max.
fashion.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, so we get to Tennessee and we roll up to this. I mean, it's a pretty nice looking house. And of course, they're dragging the entrance out. I was freaking out the entire time. I was waiting for Lady Glitter Sparkles to answer the door. But it wasn't. It was Ashleigh, and she looks much different than anything we could have anticipated.
Very different. She's definitely no killer.
Yeah, I mean, I felt very bad for her because it was just so clear how timid and how nervous and how hurt she really was. And
her
she's shaking.
Her biggest crime was
out.
just sending him fake photos and lying about who.
Yeah,
she really was.
this chick was not capable of anything as heinous as Lady Glitter Sparkles could have been.
And I'm pretty sure you like saying that.
I know, I do. How can you tell? But yeah.
And two, you were disappointed.
No, okay. Here's the
it's
thing.
okay, because I kind of was too. I kind of wanted. We shouldn't say disappointed. That's very harsh.
It is.
We were just like, from the side of us that likes the juicy drama. I kind of wanted it to be Convict Ashleigh, aka Lady Glitter Sparkles.
Convict Ashleigh. Yeah, y'all know I love a little juicy catfish, but for the sake of Robert, I obviously want what's best for him, especially because he is such a special case and he doesn't really have a lot of time to weave through all the bullshit of a catfish. I was happy that it was actually a real person, and in true catfish fashion, her personality and her story was real. It was just her looks that were very different than what she put out. But she already told us that, and that's what we were expecting.
Right.
But, after a little bit of convincing, Nev convinced her to come to Maryland with him. However, what's really stand up about her is she's aware of Robert's condition, and she's willing to take, like, take the reins on it and completely take care of him, because she took care of her mom and she takes care of her dad who has Alzheimer's, and now she's ready to take care of him.
Right. She's definitely about that life, and that's something she's already familiar with, and that didn't scare her away, which was definitely admirable, to say the least. I felt really bad when she talked about how she was bullied a lot, and she was abused by her mom verbally. You know, like her mom would really put her down and talk about her looks and things like that.
And it's crazy to see how, I mean, you know, obviously how much of an impact that has on a person, especially the fact that your own parent is doing it to you. But you could just tell by her actions and the way she carried herself that she was, like, very hurt. And that's stuff for your mom to be making fun of the way you look and the way you act and neglecting, like, your feelings. That shit sticks with you for the long run.
Yeah.
So I hope all you keep that in mind next time you want to call someone a name or make fun of the way they look.
Troll them.
Or you want to be a troll, because we ain't got no time for trolls.
We ain't got time for trolls around these parts.
And neither does Nev. Low plug. There's about to be a troll and catfish version
It's
that you'll
called
catch
Catfish
us on.
Trolls, coming in September.
You know.
So she agrees to fly out, and it happens to be her first flight ever. And Nev breaks the news to Max and Robert, and it was low-key the cutest thing when Robert said, you know, hey, I wonder if we'll hold hands. I was like, oh, cue the alls.
Yeah, that was really cute until she
it
got
was
there
kinda
and he
cute.
was all, come to daddy. I was like, okay, this took a quick turn.
Super quick turn. Yeah, because they, you know, she gets on the phone and he's like, hey, boo boo.
Yeah, boo boo, like, called her boo boo 55 times.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, we got
hey,
it.
boo boo. And
Well,
she's
he's-
like, oh my God, I'm so nervous. And he's like, it's all right, baby. Come to daddy. Whoa.
I felt so awkward, but then again, I was like
Whoa.
happy that
Right.
he was really he was excited.
He was talking a big game. So they arrive to Havre de Grace,
This poor girl.
Maryland, and she was extremely nervous. Like, we can't express how nervous she was.
Like, it was a burden, truly. She was almost unable to even walk through the door. She was so nervous.
Yeah.
But, you know, Nev being his suave self, because I do think Nev's rather suave, he was making her feel, like, comfortable, and, you know, he let her into the
room.
The room,
Once she got in there, it was all good. You know, she got to give Robert a hug and meet Max, and it was cool. It was all right. And then it kind of
then it wasn't.
got really awkward.
Yo, I felt a little like, damn, I felt bad because she was really excited, but you could tell that Robert was a little like disappointed because, of course, it wasn't exactly what he was expecting.
Right, it's not what he had in mind.
And okay, like, I get that and I understand that. And, you know, he was beating around the bush a little bit, but I understand why. He was trying to be respectful and not hurt her feelings.
Which was very nice.
Kind of blaming it on the fact that he didn't want to get hurt.
Right,
like,
he was
you
being
know,
nervous
fall in love
and
catch feelings.
And I was like, really, Robert?
And, you know, Max being his sly self, he was picking up what Robert was putting down.
He was, and he was like, well, I mean, let's look at the pros here. Let's look at the glass is half full, buddy.
We got a lot of boxes being checked over here.
Right?
That's how we put it.
Pretty much. So she goes back in, you know, because they give them some time alone, which was also awkward because, you know, she says her thing like, you know, I really love him, and you know, and blah blah blah, and he says, you know, I'm just, you know, I don't want to be hurt, but you know, I'm so glad to meet you, and then they're like, okay, so let's give them a couple minutes,
And
we'll
we'll
just kind of sitting there, and it was very awkward.
There were no daddies being tossed in.
Yeah, no. All the daddies and the boo-boos all went out the window as soon as she went through the door.
Son.
Either way, she gives him a hug, says a few little things, and then they leave. That's the end of the night, or the end of the day for that situation. Did they follow back up? Did she go back, or was that it?
Well, once Nev and Max let them have their alone time, you know, it was a done deal.
It was super quick.
It was super quick, and she said, I told him I loved him. I gave him a hug and I said goodbye. And after that, you know, we got the follow-up, and that relationship lasted about 2 days.
Robert is a cold piece of work.
Robert's a savage, but you know, he doesn't have time to waste. So
I mean, but
it is
come
what it
on,
is.
man.
I
So
know.
basically,
Might
we
have
get
been
this
a little
just a little bit. Like, really, Robert? So we find out from Robert that you know, she was coming on a little too heavy, and he wasn't really feeling it. And she got pissy because he wasn't responding to her the way she wanted.
Well, because things are obviously different at that point, and he was probably like, you know, he was probably trying to figure a way to break it off.
Because he said we can at the very least be friends.
Yeah.
And
friend zone. Gates are up.
Friend zone. and basically, when she got home, she's like, okay, but, you know, can we progress from friends? Let's graduate from friends now that we've met, and, you know, we still feel the same way about each other, but he didn't really feel the same way anymore.
I know.
So then, sadly, we follow up with Ashleigh, and she was saying, like, you know, yeah, like, everything cooled off super quick. We hadn't talked for over a month. Because he didn't respect the feelings that I had for him, and he didn't want to acknowledge them, and he essentially didn't feel the same way anymore, to a certain extent. Also, Robert got a new boo. Like,
dun dun dun.
He moved on super quick. I was like, whoa, local.
Yeah,
local, like 30 minutes away.
I mean, you know what, I'm happy for him, because it would be nice to be in a relationship and to have someone to confide in, whatever. But, you know, knowing that she also is so fragile, and she was there for you in really hard times, and you were also, like, you know, you have a type of relationship with this person, and I don't really appreciate the fact that, you know, you knew that she looked different, dude. You knew, and you chose to still pursue her. They hadn't been talking for a month up until the time Nev and Max arrived. Right. So you were kind of just like...
And this is the same person that, let's jump all the way back, when he said, when he found her, he saw her profile, she didn't have pictures up.
Right.
She had, like, pictures of, like, video game stuff and randomness. And he said, but I'd rather profile, because he said something to the extent that he cares more about personality anyway. And then by reading her profile, he realized they had so much stuff in common that he was just interested, and he wanted to see who this person was. So, what's up with that personality there, homie? Because I felt like her personality was still in check.
Well,
it was still
she
good.
was who she said she was. And I mean, I get it. You can't really help who you like sometimes. And granted, I don't know the conversation that took place after the fact, but from what it seems like, he probably could have been a little more respectful, especially knowing that it was so hard for her to reach this point.
To get on a plane, she's never been on a plane before, and come all the way out there.
And knowing her biggest fear ever is, like, being rejected, and straight up, like, 2 days, come on, like,
cold-blooded.
You could have just, I'm all for being upfront and being truthful, but there's a way to go about things, and it's not like y'all were getting married the next day. This chick lives in a different state. You probably weren't going to see each other for a long time, and I just think you could have gone about it in a different way. And I almost feel bad, because when we did check in with her later on, she seemed like not really okay.
Yeah, this is one of the few follow-ups. Right, this is one of the few follow-ups where everybody wasn't living in happily ever afterville.
And you know what?
I mean, he seemed like he was. He was cool.
Maybe a possibility that she's watching, I don't know, or she comes across this video, but I'm rooting for her.
Team Ashleigh all day.
Team Ashleigh, and you know, that goes to, like, to anyone that is feeling insecure in those ways, and like, there's a way out, and there's always going to be somebody else. If someone doesn't respect you or doesn't respect your feelings or doesn't respect the way you look, they're not the one for you.
Nope, not even a little bit.
There's no reason why you need to sit there and convince someone why you're the one for them when there are other people out there that you are the one for.
And they will appreciate you and all your curves and all your plus size fineness.
Kelly.
You just do your thing, Ashleigh. You
Like,
keep being you.
Get back on that website. Obviously, you have many things in, like, you like video games. You like you're
You know
down
how many
for,
dudes want a woman that
Yes.
like video games?
You're down for all this shit that so many dudes are down for. Like, get with it and get back back on it.
Get back on that horse, girl, and ride it to the sunset.
And I mean, shout out to Robert too. Like, he seems like a cool dude, and I respect you for being upfront and saying what it is that you actually wanted, and you found another chick, and I hope that she's good to you. And I wish.
We wish you would have handled dealing with Ashleigh a little better than you did, but it's okay. It is what it is.
We
get
understand.
it. We get it.
Given the circumstance.
And much luck with your new boo. That's 30 minutes away.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully she's good to you in every kind of way.
Yes.
Oh, see what I
see
did
what
there?
you did
That was
there.
so extra corny. The level of corniness over here
That's
is
right,
at
boo-boo.
dangerous levels. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our episode of Ashleigh and Robert with the Season 6 remix. Dynamic duo.
Yup.
Back like we never left. Like I said before, stay tuned. We got a hot episode next week. Although I can't even remember.
I was just about to say, I hope he
can't even
doesn't ask
remember.
me what it's
but
about.
I remember watching it, and I was like,
And being
"Oh,
like,
this looks
oh,
good." Like,
yeah.
yeah. But hey, man, short-term memory. Blame it on
Oh,
technology.
it was the chick that she sent him some money, $300.
Oh, that's right.
And we know that money in the mix of Catfish is never
It's
a good
terrible.
ending. Never a good ending.
Terrible.
So hopefully this is a juicy one, because I love the juicy
We love that
Catfish.
juice. Keep it juicy. So next week, stay tuned, and we will see you.
And I'm the real OG. Hit me up. This is Ashleigh, K-double-A-O-S.
I'm glad that somebody's got my back, because I sure did forget. KAASJ, Real OG, Catfish Season 6 Remix. You know what we do.
Catch you next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.